Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. I'm your host, Tiger Stacker, and we got a very good program set up for you. Kind of a follow up, but something I really want to happen to all of your states as well as this one. So, my two guests today are Attorney Chris Pritt, who is now officially announced as a senatorial candidate for West Virginia Senate, and Daniel Diaz, CEO for Citizens for Sound Money, who's been doing a bang up job. Welcome, fellas. Welcome to the live stream.
Thank you
It's a
for having
pleasure.
me.
Yeah, thanks. It's always a pleasure to be on your channel, Tiger.
I appreciate it. Now, for those of you who are wondering, the old outro I'm using as an intro. YouTube has never given me problems with the intro before, but the last two times they were claiming monetary this and that. And I've paid for a company called Epic Sound, which should allow me to use anything in their library. So I'm having my brother-in-law look into it. It might be that I might not ever be able to use it again. I have no idea. But the outro is pretty good as an intro. And I have a potential new outro, but I'm waiting for the person who created it to give me permission. So we might not have an outro tonight unless some of you see a fellow by the name of Grumpy Grassall. So if you see him, tell him to say hi. I'll ask him. So I want to thank everyone for coming in. The big thing today is to continue to pursue sound money in this state, West Virginia, and all of you who don't live here, learn from these two gentlemen what can be done in your state if you don't have sound money. So, once again, welcome, Chris and Daniel.
Great to be
Thanks for
here.
having. Yeah, likewise.
So, what's going on, Chris? You've announced your candidacy. Where are we at with everything?
Yeah, I've announced my candidacy for the West Virginia State Senate. I am going against an incumbent senator, but I feel really good about our chances this time. I think we're going to win this thing. We have a lot of support. There's a lot of momentum on our side. So I feel really good about it. I announced back in December. I'm going to be filing my paperwork actually this week. I'm going to be filing my paperwork, signing up to run, and then we're going to get this thing started. So we're really excited. We have lots of volunteers lined up. We're going to be getting the message out about not just sound money, but a lot of other issues that are important to West Virginians.
Sounds perfect.
Yep.
So, Daniel, just to bring you up to speed, I took the chance to introduce Chris to Dennis Keating from
Yeah.
Alpine Gold. He did a really bang up interview with Chris, and wanted to bring you up to speed in case you weren't there for that one, and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's exciting to have another sound money advocate running for office. We need more patriots who understand money and how the fiat system is hurting everybody. So I know Chris is a sound money advocate, and we're very excited to support him and his endeavors for the state senate.
Well, I've got a little anecdote about. I've got a second grader. Can I give you a brief little story here, Tiger?
Yeah.
Of course.
And Daniel. So I was talking with my second grader. He's really interested in coins right now. Okay, he's really into it. He's learning about. He was first asking about the silver dollar that his grandfather gave him, and then he's at school. He's learning all about it. And so we got on the subject of pennies. And I tell you what, I was as proud as can be about this. So this is the question he asked, my second grader. He said, Dad, since they've stopped making the penny, does that mean that it's actually going to be more expensive? I mean, my second grader asked this question. And I asked him, I said, oh, and why would you think that? And he said, well, because it's going to be more rare. And I'd never really thought about that, but I was just really proud of him being in second grade. He's 8 years old, just thinking in those terms. And he's 8 years old, and he's getting down a very basic concept when it comes to money and worth and based on how rare something is. So I just thought that was the neatest thing whenever he asked that question.
Oh yeah, that's very clever. Young kids, in the Hidden Secrets of Money episode 1, you have I think, is it Jim Rickard, or is there somebody, a sound money advocate who has done like lectures, and he would bring in children and then professors, and he would put up on a screen, three things, two of these things are the same, one of these things are different, and you have monopoly money, the dollar, and gold and silver, and the kids always pointed out that gold and silver was different, while the adults said the dollar was different because of they think the dollar is money, while the kids instinctively knew, well, that's metal, the others are paper. Adults put value on the dollar. So it's interesting. Kids are very intuitive.
They really are. Absolutely, they are intuitive, and that was just based. And it's not like I'm talking money with him all the time. I mean, I talk to an extent. We have conversations on it, but it's just like instinctively he recognized what that meant. When something is more rare, the value goes up. So he's got an actually a real interest in terms of money and gold, and so and some other things like he has different types of rocks and emeralds. So that's just one of the things that he's really interested in. But I thought you guys would find that interesting. I was kind of proud when he asked that question.
No, absolutely. And it looks like we lost Tiger, so I'll just be the temporary host. So tell us, what's the reception with you announcing your candidacy, and then I'll follow up some questions about sound money and gold and silver and what you're noticing in your area.
Oh, it's been incredibly positive. I mean, we've got so many people that are excited about this run. We are going against an incumbent senator. We're going against somebody who is not in agreement with us on a lot of these types of issues. No, it's looking really, really good. I mean, I think we're going to have a lot of people out there helping out, volunteering. We're going to have a lot of people out there working, and I think it's looking pretty good. I think we're going to have a really good, strong chance of pulling this off. I think that I'm going to have a majority of the sitting state, maybe not necessarily a majority, but close, a large plurality of the sitting state senators that are going to be supporting me.
Good.
So that's going to be incredibly helpful. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to go out there and work it and get the message out. And I feel really good about our chances.
And let me ask, I know we discussed sound money legislation. Were you able to find a sponsor for any sound money legislation this year? I know that when you run, if it doesn't get picked up this legislative session, you'll be sponsoring it when you get in. Have you talked to any of your potential colleagues or former colleagues in the House of Delegates or in the Senate?
No, not at this point. We've still got a little bit of time. We're going to be actually, that was one of the things that was on my agenda for the next couple of weeks. Yeah, we're certainly going to get those bills moving. And yeah, I mean, I think it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're excited to see more sound money advocates running over at Citizens for Sound Money, a Sound Money Trade Association, and that ties into the reason why we support candidates to push sound money legislation, and it's because the only form of money is gold and silver, because the definition of money is a medium of exchange, unit of account, and long-term store value, and the dollar doesn't meet that third characteristic. And 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck with not $1,000 to their name. And in the markets, which we'll see the markets open up in 18 minutes, silver has hit $103.33, and gold is just shy of $5,000. It's $4,985.10.
Wow.
Why, Chris, is it important that states push sound money legislation? And what is your perspective and why you want to pick up the mantle and do that?
Well, it's important because it sets the tone for the rest of the country. I mean, these things build momentum. I mean, I don't care what the issue is, and that's the reason a lot of people, it's not as glamorous as let's say somebody being a member of Congress, okay? But the truth of the matter is, based for whatever reason, it's very, very, very difficult to get anything of substance done on a federal level. I mean, there's the filibuster, there's half the time you have a divided Congress, or you have the president that's different than a different political party than Congress. It's very difficult to get anything moving. But one of the great things about our system is that we have federalism, which is there are certain things that the federal government can do. There are certain things that the state governments can do, and there are certain things that both can have some input on. And this is something clearly that the states can have an impact on. And it's really important that we get moving on this sort of thing at the state level, because a couple of things. A lot of times you can sneak. It's easier to sneak things in and just sort of fly under the radar. And I've seen that happen before, like issues that are just not on the radar and people don't really care about, and they're sort of below the radar, and you can get them passed. But the thing about state level government is that when you have state level government, you can have individuals that are close to the people. I mean, I don't care what the state is. Maybe it might be different, a little bit different in bigger states like California or Texas or maybe Florida. But for the vast majority of the states out there, if you reach out to your local legislators who are in your state house or who are in your state senate, you could probably get a phone call with them or an email. I mean, it's on that level. Whereas if you're talking on the federal level, you're going to have to go through several people to maybe possibly at some point 2 months down the road be able to have a conversation with your member of Congress.
Yeah.
And if at all, you might not be able to, because I mean, those people represent what, like 700,000 people, 700,000 people, I think, at this point. So it's a little bit different now in terms of the state governments. You can get more done. They're more responsive. And this is the other thing too, is those people have to be a lot more responsive to you, because it's a lot easier for them to be defeated in an election. Because I mean, look, I know people who were in the West Virginia House of Delegates that didn't raise a dime, who ran, and they were able to win just knocking on doors. I know people like that. Whereas the person they were running against was raising thousands of dollars. They just knocked on doors and they were able to win. That's the sort of thing you can get done and accomplished on the state level. That's where a lot of the action should be naturally. This is one of those issues that is just prime in terms of us getting something done, is in the states. Just you can advocate for that with your state legislators. You can talk with them. You can attempt it. You can badger them. You can threaten them. I mean, not physically threaten, but like, hey, you do what I want, or I'm going to make sure you don't get elected. Yeah, and you can do that. And an individual person can have a real impact as well. I mean, I don't care whether it's the lower the level, the more likely it is one person can have an individual impact. I mean, a lot of these races are decided by no more than a few hundred people. Well, most people could call a few hundred people on the phone and say, hey, support this person or don't support this person. And I think that's the reason the state legislatures are really, really important with this.
Yeah, 22% of the country has already made gold and silver legal tender. I've always believed that once we get to that 25% threshold, which means we think we need 2 more states, or just 2 more states will get us over, then it would put enough pressure on the federal government to get rid of capital gains. Like I've been meeting our coalition with the Sound Money Trade Association, C4SM. The chairman of the Sound Money Trade Association met with Senator Mike Lee in his office. We did a fundraiser through our super PAC for Congressman Byron Donalds, who said he would be helping push legislation through to get rid of capital gains at the federal level. And we also, my Congressman Mike Karadopoulos, who is the chairman of the freshman class this year in Congress, he said he would work with Alex Mooney, who's no longer there, or whoever else takes up the mantle to get rid of capital gains. That is really the biggest issue right now, because if the whole country makes gold and silver legal tender, yet we still have to pay federal capital gains at the collectible rate of 28%, that is a big hindrance of using real money as money in commerce. So I think what we're doing at the state level, and it is much easier to pass laws and make changes at the local level than it is at the federal level. There's a lot of special interests who have influence over congressmen and senators at the federal level. Huge corporations, multinational companies, organizations. At the state level, you still have the same thing, but it's, you have corporations at the federal and the state level, but there's more accountability. But it's still tough. There's still corruption everywhere, and it's just I am glad that we've been able to knock down 22% of the country, 11 states.
Oh yeah,
so
that is huge. I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know we were up to 22%. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and we're doing a huge push in the first blue state, Maryland. Maryland, we have been working very closely with the industry, the gold and silver companies and coin shops. We helped them create the Sound Money Association of Maryland. They've hired a very well-known lobbying firm, and we're already getting sponsors from the Democratic side to push sound money legislation, and getting rid of state sales tax, state income tax on gold and silver purchases and sales, and also making gold and silver legal tender. It looks like we got a sponsor for the legal tender portion. We broke up the legislation into 3 pieces: the sales tax piece, the capital gains piece, and the legal tender piece. And then we find that's the most effective way to get something through, right? If legal tender fails, then at least we have capital gains and sales tax, which is part of the battle. Once we get rid of that, it's just the next step to make it legal tender. So it's Hawaii, and I'm looking at what Mrs. Aloha 1970. Hawaii and Cali are long shots. It's going to take a lot of pressure in the rest of the country to really push to make gold and silver legal tender and to get rid of sales taxes. And Washington just recently implemented the sales tax as well.
Okay. Something that would be interesting that you might want to do, and I think is really a good idea when it comes to, let's say, the sales tax, because I used to be in the West Virginia House of Delegates, and I saw this, is just about every time you have a bill that's up, and I don't know how it would impact in terms of Maryland, but one of the things people are always wondering is, well, what's the fiscal impact of this? And if you were to, something that's a really compelling argument, look, because we did it with West Virginia, we just recently, within the past couple of years, got rid of the state income taxation on Social Security. And one of the compelling arguments for that is, well, it really wasn't that much in terms of what was being brought in on that.
Right.
And so I know that a lot of times that's a pretty compelling argument. So let's say that it's the amount that it brings in is in let's say a multi-billion-dollar budget is just like, I don't know, let's couple million or something. That's sometimes a very, and I don't, now of course you have to be careful there, because you obviously don't want to bring up that argument if it's not, super helpful. I mean, if it's going to be a huge amount, I can't imagine in just about every state, I would think it would just be a drop in the bucket.
It is a drop in the bucket. It's typically less than 1% of a state's budget. Like in Maryland, they estimated the revenue to be about $3 million. In Florida was around $2.5 million. Right.
Oh.
And Florida's a lot bigger. I don't know why Maryland thought it would be $3 million. And when they implemented the sales tax, last year, we pushed with our super PAC to stop them from repealing the sales tax exemption of over $1,000. The minute that went into law last year, July 1st, all the coin shops lost around 80 to 85% of their business because people who were consumers were going over the border to Delaware, to Pennsylvania, other states that didn't have sales tax. So any tax revenues that the state was planning on getting by getting rid of the sales tax exemption, that just went to not to zero, but they're not getting $3 million.
Right.
So it's completely destroying an industry. You got some local coin shops in Maryland that have been there for decades, packing up shop and opening up locations out of the state so they can capture their business. Right. So when the state governments meddle in the private sector, it's always a negative blowback.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, sounds like you're doing some great stuff there in Maryland.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not too far from West Virginia, so we'll definitely talk. And if you need help with language or whatever. We have model legislation that we passed through ALEC. There's a few tweaks we would want to change. The second part of that model legislation we're looking to adjust in ALEC in the summer. And we also have model legislation for Missouri. Missouri has the best sound money legislation really on the planet. It is the most permissive sound money legislation right now. So we're looking to change the ALEC model legislation to reflect better the Missouri legislation.
I've got a friend who's a state senator that's really involved in ALEC. Her name's Patricia Rucker, and I'm just trying to think about what role she has with ALEC. She had something recently.
Yeah, she's the chairwoman.
Oh, okay. She's the chair of it. Okay.
She's the outgoing chair. She was the chair.
Oh,
she was
okay.
the outgoing chair.
Okay.
I think the new chairwoman, I don't know who, or maybe chairman. I don't know. Somebody took over.
Okay. Yeah. Patricia's a friend of mine. So needless to say, she's supporting me in my run for state senate. Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost certain. Yeah, I'm certain she was the chairwoman. I think they served two years, and under her leadership, ALEC has grown more than it's ever has. So,
I'm looking. Yeah, 2025 immediate ALEC national chair. Okay, yep, that's exactly what she is. I just looked that up. Yeah. Oh, Patricia's great. I mean, she'd be obviously with us on these sorts of issues, but she's fantastic. She's sort of in terms of the coalition. She's on the she's very anti-establishment like I am, and she had a tough run last year. Well, I should say in 2024, but she was able to survive it, and now she's doing great. Right, and she's become, I think, assistant majority leader in the West Virginia State Senate.
Oh, good. That's awesome. Yeah, she should be. If she's supporting you, that's great because she was awesome. She is awesome. So.
Yep.
Tiger, we noticed that you lost power. Everything okay out there? I know you both are getting slammed with this cold weather.
Yeah, that happens out here. Power went out. You guys continue, thank goodness. Thank you for taking over my role. And I called the wife upstairs. She confirmed that the Generac generator did not kick in, so we're back on the grid, which gave me hope that the internet was continuing, and it did. I had to reset everything, the computer, the router. It's just West Virginia weather.
Not to make you two feel bad, but today it's been in the high 70s, 85 degrees,
man.
Sunny.
We're going to have to go down to Florida, sit on his couch, raid his refrigerator, the ball game, and we don't move until next weekend's over as for tormenting us. You do realize that.
Yeah,
we're a West Virginia raid.
And we're going to have a low, I think, of 36 the whole week. I think 1 or 2 days in the 30s. The rest of the lows will be in the 40s, and the highs will be in the high 60s. So it's going to be pretty decent weather than this coming week.
He's going to
wow.
That's right. I was told it's going to be freezing all next week.
Yes. Yeah, that's what my mother said. It was going to be in the teens all week in South Carolina.
Oh, wow. He's in South Carolina.
Yeah, you guys completely missed it, didn't you? It went totally above you, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's coming down, but it's losing its power by the time it gets down here. It really never gets – the lowest I've ever seen it get in Florida was like once or twice. It might have gotten into the high teens. I mean, my entire life. The next coldest was maybe in the high 20s and 30s, but that's very rare. We really rarely get cold seasons. Yes, the iguanas are going to fall. That's what happens when it gets to freezing temperatures. All the iguanas die and fall out of trees and hit people and like just collapse. Yeah. So it's really what happds when it gets cold. We know it's cold when the iguanas are falling out of trees. You hear just these thumps all over.
What I had heard though was we were going to get 8 to 12 inches of snow. It's not happened here. What I had looked on, maybe the weatherman was wrong, imagine that, was I thought it was going to be a nor'easter. Because if it's a nor'easter, we get dumped on. If it's straight coming in from the west, it meets the mountains and gets slowed down. So maybe the weatherman's wrong. Because we got a lot of powder and we got a lot of ice.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I know that tomorrow it's going to start raining and then it's going to cool down tomorrow. So we got the nice weather until it starts raining early in the morning tomorrow. And then the iguana fall warning is real.
And
You know, when you start hearing thumping outside, you know it's cold.
That's from a Texan.
Yeah, yep. So, the markets are going to open here in 2 minutes. So I'm excited to see what happens. What do you guys think is going to happen with gold and silver? You think it's going to go up, or you think it's going to go down?
As long as there's a commodities war between Shanghai, LBMA, COMEX, and they're trying to keep everything in China. You know, you got the physical market going on in China versus the paper market here in the West. We're going to see climbing prices, and until this commodities war is over with, I don't see any pullback.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Frostbite coin. I think it's going to get up to maybe 104, 105, maybe pull back a little, and then when the U.S. markets open up, it'll rip.
I thought I was talking about Texas temperature.
Sorry?
I thought he was talking about the Texas temperature.
No, that's the silver price. So I think it'll go up a little bit. It'll kind of flatline until the American markets open. Then I think it's going to skyrocket. This is what happened on Thursday night. Everybody thought I was going to hit 100 by midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, no, it's going to hit 100 after 9 a.m. That's exactly what happened. Around 10 a.m. it hit 100 and just stayed over 100. So we'll see if it rips. That's a good sign. Well, it's a bad sign for the dollar. Good sign for those who are stackers.
There's some truth with that. And as I've told both of you, I've had to sell some of mine to make ends meet because of the cancer and the chemotherapy. But the weird thing about it is, even though I've sold a good bit of silver to pay the bills, my fiat wealth has gone up despite all that because of the climbing spot prices, mainly silver.
Yeah.
So I've never thought I'd ever see something like this. Ever.
And we're only at the halfway point. I think we're still going to see silver jump to at least 230, 220 minimum. I think it's going to hit potentially over $300. I think gold, like I agree with Bald Man Money. Is that his channel?
Yeah, Bald Man Money.
Bald Guy Money.
That's right.
Bald Guy Money thinks that gold, the next step is around 70, let's say 7,500, 7,400. So I agree. I don't really see it slowing down. Like if you could look at all the metrics, all the fundamentals. Hey, that's one of my bars. That's my company purchased silverback precious metals. That's beautiful. That's one of Jim Forsyth's 10-ounce bars.
Yeah, I have a few things of him. I thought maybe you'd appreciate that.
I do, man. I miss Jim. Jim is greatly missed in the movement and in our circles at C4SM. We actually recreated that 10-ounce bar, not the same size, a little fatter and shorter. But yeah, we once we bought silverback precious metals, we started minting new bars. So MR23 thinks it's going to go to 106.30. Oh wow, it's up. It opened. We're at 105.32 right now. That's beautiful.
Wow.
Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can see the price live here. Here, share. Go ahead and throw that up. I'm gonna refresh. It popped up to 105. There it is. 105.84. It is just pumping. Up 2.4% already. And gold's over 5,000. Hallelujah.
Wow. Great.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy. It's just nonstop. I mean, look, this is just indicative of what the Federal Reserve and all the central banks have been doing to the economy with all the quantitative easing. All that inflation is finally catching up and trickling into the economy, and that's why gold and silver is skyrocketing. On top of what's going on geopolitically with Russia and China, the U.S., with Venezuela. I mean, people are dumping their stocks, putting it in metals. And man, we're like at the halfway point. We still have a lot of movement before we see gold and silver really skyrocket. Can Chris see the chat? Oh, people are asking. Can you see the chat, Chris? People are
I can't.
asking.
No, I can't. I cannot see
Okay.
the chat.
Click there on your phone.
Let me
Let me
see.
see.
Has anybody?
Oh,
asked
okay. I got it. I can see it now, I think. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here.
Let's see. Are there any questions for Chris? Okay. Well, now they can. Now he can see the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, man, this is exciting. Let's see. And let's refresh. Got up to 106.58. That's what somebody said. So the high was 106.58. You know, it might pull back to 104, but then I think it's going to rip, man. This is exciting. And then if gold holds at the close tomorrow at 5,000, I lose a little $5 bet. So it's I thought it was going to hit 5,000 on Friday at the close. It didn't. So looks like I lost a little $5 bet with a friend of mine.
Well,
Frostbite's asking if he wants to help with it. Do you want help with your campaign in any capacity? He can ask. I'd be happy to assist. So Frostbite would be happy to assist with your campaign in any way.
Oh, great. Absolutely. Yes. Well, certainly if anybody could offer any kind of donations at all. I mean, even small donations, those really add up over time. I mean, one of my first campaigns, I had the probably in I think the 2022 election cycle. Whenever I was running for House of Delegates, I had the most small dollar donations for anywhere in the country. So, or actually anywhere in the state of West Virginia. So that's anything that anybody could help out with as well. That would be incredibly helpful. Just if you know of anybody who happens to live in the Charleston, West Virginia area, let them know that I'm running. So I think that's what you can do. If you know of anybody who out there who's interested in sound money, who would like to get involved, they can just reach out to me, and I will be sponsoring the bills that we've talked about before on this channel. I will be being involved in that. I'll be pushing for that, and so yeah, I think that would be that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And what website can they go to donate?
I've got it. I use Antidote, and I can. Is there a way that I could post that, Tiger, just like before, maybe post in the chat?
Yes, you
Post
can.
it in the private
Just
chat,
go
and
ahead.
then we can post it in the public chat.
Okay, great.
If you send me an email, I'll go ahead and put that into the description below.
No, that too. Yeah.
I'm kind of quickly going over the last time we did anything to make sure that was in the last one. I'm almost positive it was. Here we go.
And you know, and let me just say this: it's just the truth of the matter is that these campaigns you do have to seek out donations. It's one of those things that's not. It's not the most comfortable thing. That was the biggest thing that I had to get used to as a candidate when I first ran, was actually getting used to asking people for donations. It's it's not the most pleasant thing, but if you want to run for office, you have to be able to do it, because one person can't just self-finance these races. I mean, maybe a few people can, but I'm not one of those people that can just self-finance everything it would take to win.
The last time we did a project together, I put this into the description. So you sent that to me. I'll do it again just to make sure that I get it right. If you'll just send it to me as an email, I'll put it into the description below.
I'm sending that now. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right. Are you doing a giveaway today?
Let's see what we got going on, because I got to refresh the screen since I got kicked out.
All right.
Let's see here. We are at 13 likes. If I get to 25, I'll give away a silver dime.
That's about five. I'll tell you right now how much a silver dime is worth. Give me 1 second.
$7 to $8.
Yeah, let me 104.66.
If we get to 25 likes, I'll give away a silver quarter.
Yeah, it's about almost $7.50 right now for a dime, and then a quarter would be times 2.5. A quarter is worth $18.71, and a half dollar is worth $37.46. So it's amazing how half dollars and a constitutional silver has skyrocketed. I mean,
Yeah.
a quarter is the same face value as it was like 6 months ago for a full dollar. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, and me personally, I'm more into buying constitutional when I do buy than pure silver because no one wants it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
subsequently, when they do want it, I'm going to gain a little bit of value back.
Yep. And my coin shop, we're selling constitutional $2 back a spot right now because nobody's buying. Nobody wants it. I haven't even sold a dime yet. Nobody's been interested in our constitutional silver.
Or how much are you buying your silver for?
Well, it depends. For sovereign coins, it's anywhere from $2 back up to $5 back. For generic rounds, it's between $5 and $8 back. And for constitutional, we're paying between 10 and 15, depending on the condition.
Okay, because here in West Virginia, they just recently dropped to $15 back. For the pawn shop I go to, but the coin shops in the same area, get this, are buying $50 back of a spot.
Constitutional?
No, regular.
50?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. We're only paying 5 to 8, depending on what type. If like say Engelhart will do 5, but most generic is 8. That's crazy.
Yeah. I won't do it. I mean, I'll call around if in fact, if I can't find a good sell, if I have to sell again, maybe I can call you and have you take from me.
Yeah, you know why they're doing that, right? And why we've gone back. Have you heard?
Because the refiners aren't keeping up with the demand to refill LBMA and COMEX, and they don't want to have to deal with alloyed silver. They don't have the time. They don't want to spend the time, the money, the resources. They'd rather take a bunch of pure silver, pour it in there, melt it, make new COMEX bars, ship it.
It's also because they've been inundated with thousands and thousands of ounces of constitutional and sterling, and they don't have the time to. It's like 1 to 2 months backed up, and that's why the coin shops are going so far back a spot, because that means they're going to have to lock up their liquidity, and they won't be able to dump it. So luckily, we have connections with a few mints out west that's taking our stuff. But if we were Elemental right now, Elemental around the whole country, they have stopped taking anything except for 1 ounce, 100 ounce, 1,000 ounce, 10 ounce, 5 ounce pure silver bars. They won't even take pure silver bars that are odd weights, like 2 ounces, 3 ounces, whatever, something that isn't normal. So they're only taking normal, and they're paying $10 back a spot. The refiners are paying dealers $10 back a spot. That's why everybody's doing 15 or 50, as you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a situation. I've never heard. Now I've only been doing this getting close to 5 years now, but I've never heard of this ever happening before.
Never happened. It's never happened before. It's flat out never happened since 1971.
Which I think would somewhat normalize if we had a large percentage of the population who knew the true value of this stuff.
Yeah,
people would be out there buying it, and there wouldn't be a backlog.
I'm telling customers, are you sure you want to sell your silver right now? I've convinced at least 3 customers to, instead of selling their silver to me, holding it and buying more silver, because I explain to them, it's about education. Like most of the people that come in my shop, if people are buying or stackers, they know, but not everybody knows about the true value of money and what is going on with the economy. So, my coin shop, not only you're going to come get decent prices, you're going to get a good education. So it's kind of my mission, right? So
yet another reason to go raid his refrigerator, Chris.
That's right. Absolutely. Yep.
I got plenty of room if you guys ever want to come visit. So
yeah, I'll probably do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Daniel, can you remind me again what part of Florida you live in?
I live in Sebastian, Florida.
Okay. What part of the state is that?
The East Coast, just south of Melbourne, Florida.
Oh,
About,
okay. All
about
right.
30 minutes south of Melbourne, 25 minutes north of Vero Beach.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. It's a nice
Yeah.
small town. It's one of the last like original Florida towns where the people were born and raised here, true
Oh.
Floridians. It's a fishing town, it's a surfing town. It's like an old school. You still have mom and pop shops all over the place. It's it's great. I love it. I don't want to move. I've been in politics since the age of 16, and I've never really put down roots anywhere. And I really had to make a decision: do I want to put down roots? And opening up a coin store was definitely making that decision that I'm putting down roots and I'm going to be here long term. So I pulled the trigger. I love Sebastian.
Gotcha. That's great. Yeah, the only part of Florida I'm really familiar with is my son's godmother is she's a state's attorney down in Fort Myers, in that area.
Okay. Yeah, that's the West Coast.
Yeah.
Just north of Naples.
Yeah.
Yeah, the West Coast, it's beautiful, but in a different way. The East Coast, there's something about the East Coast, that I like. One, I think it's more historical. There's a lot more historical sites, and also there's all the treasure that you can treasure hunt on the beach and find some the scudos and royales and everything. So
really, okay,
yeah. There was a guy who found like 10 gold 8 escudos he found over $1 million worth of gold right here in Sebastian.
Amazing.
A few years back. Yeah. You can still find sunken treasure on the coast. Now, you can't go in the water. You'll likely get arrested if you go in the water. You need a license and a permit to treasure hunt in water. But if you're on the coast, you're good.
Wow. And he found it right on the coast.
Yep.
That's remarkable. Wow. That's neat.
A buddy of mine got hit by the bug, and he's like, "Hey, we should go treasure hunting." I'm like, and then he showed me the video. I'm like, okay, maybe. I'm like, I wouldn't mind finding a couple $1 million worth of gold.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So,
that's great.
Yeah. So if you're gonna come visit, come down the East Coast, visit, and start looking for some sunken treasure.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, my son, I would probably love that as much as he's into coins and everything and money. I think he'd be really interested in that.
There's a reason why this part of the state is called the Treasure Coast. Right.
You would think that. I mean, it's been centuries since that. Since a lot of that ended up there, and yet people are still finding it, huh?
Well, it's taken centuries to go from where it sunk onto shore. The water is constantly pushing it up, so it's like it goes all the way up to St. Augustine. So you can find sunken treasure all throughout the Treasure Coast.
Yeah, that's fascinating. That's really interesting. Yeah.
And if you don't find sunken treasure, people are bringing in gold coins, silver coins. People lose their rings in the ocean. So. It's a good time. Yeah, it's a nice little hobby people can use.
So you have to come down there with a metal detector.
Yeah, you have to buy a good one too. I think of $400 or $500 will get you a good one. Just do some research.
Oh, okay.
One good find will pay for it.
Say what?
One good find will pay for it or more.
Absolutely. Even a gold ring will pay for it. And these days, maybe even a silver ring if it keeps popping off the way it's been popping off.
But I guess the rules, the law there is if it's on a public beach and you find it, there's no dispute about it then. I mean, it's yours, right?
It's yours. And if you find it off the coast, then the state of Florida gets the first 20% cut. And that's why you need a license to.
You mean if it's in the water? If it's in the water.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Florida has a secret vault with hundreds of millions of dollars worth of sunken treasure because they get 20%. Mel Fisher now it's worth billions of dollars. His sunken treasure that he found, he has 2 museums, one in Key West and one here in Sebastian. Actually, he's 2 blocks down the street. He probably has easily 10 to 20 million, and I think I might even be conservative worth of sunken treasure in that museum. So, if in Florida got 20% of his entire find. It's state law. So
great. Yep.
And how we're looking, Tiger, because I can only stay maybe a little bit past 6:30.
Okay. I am looking at 47 minutes right now, and we have, let's see here, what time is it? 6:18. So, if we close early, we close early. The most important thing is that Chris gets the support he needs to win this election.
Absolutely.
The state and its citizens get the right to have gold and silver as currency. And the citizens that are watching, no matter what state they are in, learn to call up their legislators and start pushing to get sound money in their states.
Absolutely. There's something I interviewed. What's his name? Dr. Eric. Is it Schmidt? What's it? Let me see. Eric. Let me mute this tab. Mute tab. Let me click on it. What's his? Eric Snyder. Dr. Eric Snyder. He's an Austrian economist, and he said something I think is the most succinct way to put it. All money is currency, but not all currency is money. I think that's a great way to put it. And the people have a right to their money, right? They have a right to use gold and silver and protect their purchasing power in gold and silver. So,
Wow.
a question for Chris Pritt. I'm dropping my first kids coin video. I would like for you to watch it and see if your second grader might enjoy it. I would be happy to create a few more to answer questions.
Oh, that'd be great. Yes. I'll for sure check that out and show them. Fantastic. Thanks, Frostbite. Appreciate it.
Frostbite's one of my partners. Every 2 weeks, we do a live stream, call it Stack Elector, where basically we're trying to not only promote stacking, collecting, and numismatists, but we're also mainly promoting protecting people from getting taken advantage of. So,
Yeah.
because
That's great.
yeah, especially
I'll tell you what, it is so common. I get people all the time who call my law office and talk about these people that are, and I don't know if it's specific, how specific it is to people who are just out there trying to scam people, but it's an epidemic right now with the people who are out there attempting to scam people, especially people who are elderly. That's what's so scary, is that these scam artists trying to take people's money. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible what these people do. And one of the common scams that I'm hearing about is these people, they call up and they say, well, I'm calling from Windows and your computer has been hacked. And then they proceed to ask for their social security number and this and that. They think that they basically, I had one client who called me up and they were trying to get her to log into her on the screen, allow access to her screen, and then log into her bank account so they could get all of the information. It was terrible. It's just, these people are just rotten to the core, just horrible, evil people, and what they're doing to our elderly.
And it isn't just that. Here, I'm gonna go grab you guys some of the things that came in my shop. I'll show you. They're making counterfeit everything now. Right, I'll be right back.
Wow.
With the increased price of silver and gold, I mean, it's worth it to them.
Mhm.
God forbid they should actually take that energy and go get a job.
Oh yeah, right.
I've seen so much in my lifetime as a doctor about scammers, and how they would try to scam me out of opiate medicine. And I don't know about every other state, but it's what I've been told. Now, this is more your field than mine, but I was told it was a Class D felony to lie to a provider in order to get a scheduled substance.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
You should see how fast they run when I present that information to them.
So this is a fake American silver eagle. I mean, the design is all right. I mean, you can tell it if you've seen a lot of these. You can kind of tell just by looking at it. And also the rim, the ridges are too far apart, not deep enough, and not sharp enough. This is a fake Krugerrand. It's not that great of a fake Krugerrand. The design's fine, but it's too yellow of a gold coin. It's not really gold. I don't know what it is. It might be brass. But here's one that if you see a bunch of Morgans, this is one of the best fake Morgans. It's an 1894 Morgan. You cannot tell the difference if just by looking at it. At least the obverse and the reverse. But when my employee grabbed it from the side, I looked at it. I said, "That's not real." He didn't even test it yet. I said, "That's not real." And the reason I knew it wasn't real, it was too thick. It's about the same thickness as an American Silver Eagle, and Morgan dollars and peace dollars are not that thick. I could tell just by looking at it because I've been seeing a lot. But if you're just looking at the obverse and the reverse, this is probably one of the best fakes I've seen. They all have a little bit of copper, so it passes the magnetic test, and this weighs just over an ounce. This is under an ounce. This is 0.774 ounces, and this one weighs about the same weight as a normal Morgan. But if you're not used to seeing the real coins, it could really pass if you just look at the obverse. Actually, this wasn't a fake that came into me. Another dealer at a coin show this past weekend here in Vero Beach bought these off of customers. He just wanted me to test them, and I looked at his 2 Morgans that he traded for something else. I think he's got these 2 Morgans and traded it for one graded Morgan, and I told him that other one's fake. I could tell right away just by the thickness. I just look at the thickness, and he's like, "Oh man, I can't believe I got tricked by these guys." But yeah, it's crazy, man. China's making some really good copies, and even the Sigmas, the regular Sigmas are not catching them, because I think what they're doing is they're putting a little bit of silver or plate on it, thick enough to where the regular Sigmas aren't catching them. You need the Sigma Pros or the Sigma investors to catch the new fake stuff coming out of China. And then here's another one. He wasn't trying to trick me, but I had a customer come in with a 10-ounce bar. It was like 10.41 ounces. It was stamped on it. It said 99 fine. The surface test of the bar, when I put 999 fine, was fine, but it wasn't testing 999 fine in the interior because I have the bullion adapter for my Sigma Metalytics Pro. I'm like, let me try something, because he brought me some other sterling. He said it was from the same guy. So I switched it to sterling, and the center of the bar was sterling and the exterior was 999 fine. So the guys poured a sterling bar, then they dipped it in probably fine silver to try to pass the whole thing off. So it's crazy, man. The people are getting very creative. You got to be very careful if you're buying any product, and if you're just an investor, if you're a stacker, buyer beware. Get your pocket pinger. The pocket pinger. All the pocket pinger will not pass these. You can't fake the sound of silver and gold. So if you don't have the money to buy a pro with the bullion adapter, that's about $2,800. Or the investor, which I think is like $1,600 or maybe $1,800, then buy a pocket pinger. It's cheap. The app, I think it's $5 a month. Just buy the pocket pinger. It's like $30 or $35, and use that. You can't fake the sound of gold and silver.
Daniel, I have a question for you. So whenever these people bring in to your shop these counterfeits, is it usually, how far back is it usually that this was acquired? Is it like secondhand or third hand, or is this usually the fraudster actually coming to you? Surely it's not the actual fraudster. Is it usually second or third or fourth hand?
It's secondhand. Typically, it's a customer who thought they were buying the real thing. I've actually had customers say, "Hey, can you test this? It doesn't look right." And that's how we get them. And then I'm like, they're worthless. So I'm like, "You mind if I keep this to show customers and the show?" So it's usually secondhand. I don't really see fraudsters, and I usually catch. I really haven't had any. There's only one guy since I've opened that I thought was questionable. Some of the stuff he brought in. Like he was trying to pass it off, but mostly it's secondhand people who got duped. Just don't buy stuff off of Walmart, and be very careful when you buy stuff off of eBay. If it's too good to be true, then it's too good to be true, and especially if it's coming from China. So what you want to do when you're shopping on eBay on the filters, choose North America only. Because most of the fakes are getting shipped from China. So just choose North America and only buy from North Americans. At that point, you actually can prosecute, or you can get eBay to get the money back. If you're buying from China, good luck.
To me, it just seems like it really wouldn't be worth to me personally, if I really got into collecting coins, to me, I would rather just go to a local reputable shop. to me, I don't even know why anybody would do any. I mean, maybe you could. It makes sense in some instances to do it online, but I don't know. You're taking a risk. Even if you can get your money back, it's just a hassle. I mean, it's just
Right.
going. I mean, it's a hassle. Even if you get your money back and you've lost all that time.
And there's so many new people. Look, like one of my customers, he's going to probably start doing the marketing for our channel and also for our shop. He was showing me that the youth, kids in their 20s on Snapchat, on TikTok, it's the craze right now, buying gold and silver. And you have all these young people who are just brand new, who don't really know anything about the industry, who don't really, like, I was on Whatnot the other day, and it was probably a new seller. He was saying, oh, this is a BU Morgan. I'm like, no, that's not a BU Morgan. There's wear on that, because I know what I grade coins as a hobby. I'm actually taking a course to actually start getting official training on how to grade coins. Like, I'm not going to go into it, but I want to be trained, and I'm doing the beginner course, intermediate, and then the advanced course, so I can actually grade coins. And I told the guy on Whatnot, I'm like, hey, you don't tell people that's BU, because people don't know what a BU coin is. It's actually AU. And I said, look, you have an MS63 in the back. Pull the MS63 and compare it to what you just called the BU. It's not. So you just buyer beware and educate yourself. Figure out what the grading scale is. It goes from poor, which is 0, to MS70, which is perfect with no blemishes. And then there's a lot in between. And also, educate yourself on what gold and silver is supposed to sound like. Buy a pocket pinger. Go on YouTube and listen to the frequency of gold and silver. 90% gold and 22 karat gold has a long ding. Pure gold has a very short ding. Silver, if it's pure silver and a certain thickness, it's going to kind of sound like a do I have? No, it's in the safe. You'll hear it, and I know Tiger's done a few of those types of videos, and there's plenty of videos online or shorts you can listen to the sound of gold and silver. Just download the app. The app I recommend you guys download. It's free. If you want access to all 50,000 coins that you can test, it's called the Precious Coin Test. Precious Coin Test. It's a free app that you can download, and then you can start tapping. And if you don't have a precious coin tester, you can do it for free. It's not as effective, but it works. You can just balance a coin on your finger. That's copper. Silver doesn't sound like that. That long ding.
These two apps I have on my phone, this one is the one I use mostly, and that's what you mentioned.
Yeah, and this is the fake eagle. You'll hear the sound. That's not real silver. I got one in my wallet. Hold on. Actually, I got a Morgan and a piece in my wallet. I'll show you the difference. I'll do the fake one and then the real one. All right. I have it in my wallet for lobbying reasons, so I can show politicians what real money looks like. All right. So here's a real Morgan. I'm gonna do the fake one again. Here's the fake Morgan sound. Here's the real Morgan. You guys hear the difference?
Mm-hmm.
And then here is the fake eagle, and then I'll do the real eagle next. So here's the fake eagle. Real eagle. You get used to the sound. You can tell the difference, So just get used to tapping. If you don't have a little pocket finger, just use your finger and tap it lightly.
Okay.
And then show you the thickness difference. The real one is on the left, and the fake one's on the right. It's slightly thicker. So, or for you guys, the right one. Wait, is this the right one? This is the real one. This is the fake one. You can kind of see the thickness difference. This one's this one's slightly thicker. So
the interesting thing about it is when you're dealing with silver, the most common thing to fake you is copper. Silver is the best conductor of electricity. at 1.59 times 10 to the 8th ohm meters. So it's 1.59, maybe 1.65 at worst.
Right.
Copper is 1.68 and maybe a little above. So it will fake you on the sigma because the sigma uses electromagnetics for electrical resistance. The other thing it will fake you on is something called the magnetic slide. So this little disc here is a magnet, and you can tell this copper is not magnetized, nor is the silver. However, you can have copper. Now this slide is magnet, a bunch of magnets. It goes down slowly because of something called diamagnetic properties. Silver pretty much does the same thing. This will be a little faster because it's a little heavier. It's twice the weight of the copper, but it slows down as it's going through a magnetic field. So it can fake you on the electromagnetism. It can fake you on diamagnetic properties, but it will not fake you on specific gravity. So if they give you the right weight, you'll have the wrong measurements. They give you the right measurements, you'll have the wrong weight. So unlike gold, the common thing used for faking gold is tungsten because it has the correct specific gravity. So it can fake you on weight and measurements. However, tungsten, if I remember correctly, the electromagnetism is 5.5 times 10 to the 8th ohm meters, where pure silver, this isn't pure, this is 90%, is 2.2. So it will be found in the sigma. So there are all sorts of ways. Plus, if you're a numismatist, you'll be able to see the different things because you love the intricacies of coin making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can stay on a little longer. Maybe
I do think we have a few questions here.
Okay.
I was just taking a look at this. Frostbite had asked a while back, do we know, I think he asked both of us, Daniel, he asked if we knew Jack. I don't know Jack Young.
Jack Young is a really awesome numismatist.
Oh, okay.
One of the top dudes. And Frostbite is really good at numismatics. He brings Jack Young up every Sunday, I believe. So,
okay. And then looks like Elle had asked where, this was back at 625, who did the original purchaser get it from?
Oh, just online. Most of these are bought online. And then that one Morgan was actually a pair of guys at a coin shop that were dressed up nice. And they, one of the Morgans that they sold to the coin dealer was real. The other one wasn't. He was a fairly new coin dealer. He was a stacker and he just started doing shows recently. He didn't test it. So you got to test everything. Like I got customers that bring in tubes, 100 buffaloes. And I tell my employees, test every single one, because now that silver, the ounce of silver is over $100, $104. One mistake is that's $100 out. So we have to test everything with the Sigma now. We don't let anything come through unless we test it. And if a customer wants us to test our own product, we know we test it, we'll test it for them. So it's about feeling comfortable about what you're buying and what we're buying.
And you don't know. I mean, my very first fake was a fake Eisenhower, 40% silver. I'm slowly putting together a box of Eisenhowers, and they don't have as much value because they're not 90% or more, but they're 40%. But I like them. So I bought, I don't know, about a half a dozen or so. I came home. I brought out the magnet, waved it over top of it, and clunk, went right to it. Now, my coin shop dealer is absolutely fantastic. And when I showed it to her, she replaced it immediately. But even dealers will sometimes get fooled. Yeah.
Well, Eisenhower's are worth $31 right now. It isn't like they were back then. They were like $4 or $5. Now it's or maybe slightly more. I mean, 40% dollar face value. It's it's getting up there. I think the 40% might be coming up. I mean, nobody bought 40% before, but the price of everything. And you know what? I'm getting requests, and I'm actually starting to sell copper rounds. People are buying copper now because they can't afford silver.
Wow. So the Eisenhower, that's so are you talking about the silver dollar? Eisenhower?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because my son who's interested in coins, he was given an Eisenhower. And he was actually asking what it was worth, and I couldn't give him an answer, but it's worth.
You have to be careful.
Okay.
The silver was only made during 1971 through 1977, and they were only made by the San Francisco Mint. So
Okay.
at the neck is a tiny, tiny, tiny little S, and you have to basically have a magnifying glass to see it.
At the where now? Could you repeat that, Tiger?
Yeah, well, if you look at the side of a silver coin, you see no copper. So the ones that are not silver, you'll see copper. Okay, but on the neck, I'm going to pretend this is an Eisenhower.
These are Eisenhowers right here.
Yeah.
See the copper?
Mm-hmm.
If you pull one out, we can show them where the mint mark is. The mint mark is a very tiny spot right here.
And yeah, his says 1971 on it. So,
you have to look at it.
Okay.
Okay, 71 through 77, and not all of them, unless they're made in San Francisco. If they're not made in San Francisco, they're not silver.
Hey, Tiger, pull my screen up.
Yes, sir. Hold on. There you go.
I'm trying. See, oh, dang it. Come on, stop it. Stop it. It won't. There we go. Right there. You see right where my index finger is a little stamp? That's an S. That's an S. This is a silver, and you can tell see how it's silver on the rim? That's a silver Ike dollar. And then the non-silver doesn't have the S. See, it's missing. Come on, move right there. See, the S is missing, and then it has a copper ring. You can see the copper. So that's a quick way to know if something is silver or not. You can just compare the rims. See the silver difference?
Mm-hmm.
So
wow.
Yeah. I give this out as change. I sell these.
All right. I'll appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing is that you can hold on. Let me bring
bring everybody up.
You can also use the pinger, and it will tell you. You got your 40%ers here, and your clad, which is not silver, here. And if you put it on for that, you ping it, it will recognize it and tell you if it's real or not.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That pocket pinger, last I looked, they're running around $35 a piece.
Yeah.
And the app is usually free. I had to pay them $2 to be allowed to ping for Eisenhower's. It was a small price to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want to do start doing the giveaway?
Of course.
All right. Cool.
Let me go ahead and pull up my other screen, see what I got. I'm going to refresh. I only have 17 likes.
Come on, guys. We just need, 3 more?
Yeah.
Is it 20 or 25?
I was going to give them 25 likes to give away a silver dime.
Okay.
And it's currently, what time is it? It's 6:42. So I'll give you to 6:44. If we don't get to 25, then you guys, you're gonna give up on a free piece of silver. So make sure you do that. Now, please make sure you do Daniel a big favor, me a big favor. Hit not only the likes, because I see some people over in Daniel's. So hit the likes, hit the subscribe. make sure you hit the bell notification, leave a comment. That way YouTube doesn't think you're a bot and takes you out. Okay. If you all over on Daniel's channel would be kind enough to pop over to mine and subscribe, because I work really hard at what the content I put out. So does Daniel.
Yeah.
And by the way, Daniel, I want to thank you. You introduced me to David Morgan and Rob Keens.
Yep.
I have been in communication with them. I have an appointment this week with David Morgan to do an interview, and I'm waiting for the response from Rob Keens, who's been pretty responsive. So I want to thank you. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's going to be a great interview.
They're pretty smart cookies.
They are. I think you're at 27 likes now, buddy.
Okay, let me take a look here. I'm at 27. So what we're going to do is I'll give you a minute or so to get in there and get your chat in. I'm going to pull up the tiger wheel in the meantime. I had it up at one point. There it is. So get over to participants. Okay, don't see a whole lot in there. Seen frostbite in there. You must not have added into it recently.
Everybody's saying the rigged wheel. It's definitely rigged.
Yeah, if you're going to tell me the wheel's rigged, you guys got to talk to Professor Rig DeBordis, who fixed it after Yankee broke it. Okay, we got a couple more in there and a couple more. Okay, come on, people. I'm going to pull it. Okay, here we go. And where is the tiger wheel? Here we go. Share my screen. All right.
Here we go.
And if anything comes up like member or whatever, we'll just roll it again. Okay, everyone. Good luck. Congratulations, Amy.
Congratulations. And Chris, give your website one more time where people can donate, and how can they email you to get a hold of you to volunteer?
Yeah, sure. The best way to email me is ctpritt1@gmail.com. Again, that's CT, that C is my first name, T is in Tom, PRITT1@gmail.com. It's the best way to get a hold of me right now. And then Tiger, I had sent you over a link to the donation portal. So I don't know if you can post that. Yeah, that's the best way to help out. I appreciate any kind of help anybody can provide. Certainly we're going against the system on this. We are going against entrenched powers, the bankers, others who don't care about sound money. But I think we can overcome that. It's just going to take not just the effort of me, but the efforts of all the people out there that can help out.
That works.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you for coming up, Chris, because I really want to see you get successful. I want what's best for the citizens in the state. Daniel is doing a fantastic job with multiple states. So I really want to get you a little army of sound money soldiers, if you will.
Great.
So that we can get that in the state. Amy, please send me a claiming email within 48 hours, 2 days, so that I don't forget, and I'll send you off your winnings. So I haven't heard from Grumpy Grasshole. So, he sent me a very cute clip, which I want to use as the new outro. As I said, the YouTube algorithm was giving me a hard time with the intro that I've used for a long time. So I wanted to move the old outro to the new intro and maybe use what Grumpy had sent me. But I won't use that until I get his advice. So there will not be an outro with this one. So I want to thank everyone for coming. Stack hard. Stack as best as you can, despite the growing prices. Okay? We will get through this. Okay? Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, Tiger.
Welcome.